Chapter 12. Gerald Smith. Young. When you're 6 foot 5 inches tall, business class is the only way to travel. Young reclined on the airplane's bed, attempting to get some rest before they landed. The long flight from the island of Pignali to the United States of America zapped his energy, even in the comfortable surroundings. A first trip to America for both him and Mikado, but not for sightseeing. William and Way left Pignali over a month ago to protect a woman William knew from his youth. He owed her a debt, and Young could understand his reasoning, since he owed a debt to William. He and his brother had pledged their help before William left for America, but William declined, saying he needed to act alone. He wouldn't be happy when he found out about their trip. Pride had always been William's weakness. Too much arrogance to accept help from anyone except Way. Of course, the boys' help was of a different type than the brothers provided. But Way called, saying William was over his head and missing in action. The brothers jumped onto the next flight, carrying fake credentials Way had created for them. Young carried a passport with the name Gerald Smith, while Mikado's read Thomas Smith. They both came from Eurasian descent, so he didn't know if they'd passed for the Smith brothers. Young trusted Way, even though the other monks treated him as a second-class citizen in Pignali. Prejudice existed even within the Nyan monks. Young felt the energy flowing from his brother's body as he slept in the row behind him. They were twins and had a connection beyond words. This served them well, because Mikado didn't speak. A bigger and stronger man than Young, but one who never uttered the word in any language. Mikado's ears worked, and he grunted from time to time in response. But the spoken word eluded him for reasons unknown to Young and to Mikado himself. The pilot's voice broke the silence, announcing their final approach. He asked passengers to fasten their belts, sit upright, stow any loose gear, and put away their tray tables. Young reached back, slapping Mikado's feet. He groaned in displeasure, obeying the pilot's instructions. Once they landed and passed through customs, Way promised a driver would take them where he needed to go, supplying them with weapons. Neither brother had ever shown any skills behind the wheel of a car, so attempting to drive in a foreign land would be a disaster. They deplaned near the front of the crowd because of their business-class seats. Young felt the eyes upon them. 2 huge Eurasian men stood out and above the throng surrounding them. Not the best way to start their trip while trying not to attract attention, but they continued to follow the signs to the customs station, ignoring the stares from the puny people. Lines stood about 20 deep in front of the glass booths. A grumpy bored agent sat inside each one. It only took 10 minutes for their turn because all the desks had been staffed. The advantage of flying into a major airport. Young approached the plexiglass wall with Mikado. "One person at a time," a fat man with gray hair said. He had an impatient look plastered on his face. "He my brother. He no speak," Young said, while handing his passports through the opening. The man sighed before taking the documents. "All right, whatever." He examined the paperwork, looking from the pictures to them. His eyes scanned each page of their passports. "So, Mr. Smith, what's the purpose of your visit? Business or pleasure?" "Pleasure, sir." "Okay, whatever. Wait a minute. Thomas and Gerald. Why did those names sound so familiar to me?" His stamp hovered over the page as he spoke. He put the stamp down, rubbing his chin. "Thomas and Gerald. I've heard those names somewhere before." Young could tell Mikado's patience wore thin, but he motioned for him to calm down. They couldn't get themselves thrown out of the country before they even got in. William needed their help. "Please, sir, we have appointment." "Wait, I got it. Tom and Jerry! You two are the cartoon cat and mouse!" He let out a belly laugh. "I don't understand. That are names." "Hey, Bob! These two are using credentials for cartoon characters. Come check it out." He didn't want to use his skills, but Young saw no other option at this point. The man drew too much attention to them. They needed to get moving. "Never mind. Everything is okay here. Stamp the passports and let these men go." Young laced the words with a hypnotic tone only he could manage. The man stopped calling for the other man, freezing in place. His eyes glazed over as he picked up the stamp. His actions mimicked Young's words as if in a trance. "Never mind. Everything is okay here." His arms worked robotically, stamping both their passports. He passed them back through the opening in the glass. A blank look plastered across his face. "Welcome to America. Enjoy your visit." The words came out in a mechanical nature. Young didn't know if his influence caused this effect, or if the man said the words so often they came out robotic. "Thank you, sir." They wasted no time retrieving their fake passports from the fat man before departing the customs area. Neither man had any luggage to claim, so they entered the main terminal. An average-looking man of median height approached Young, holding a sign which read, "Mr. Smith and Mr. Smith." "You two must be the Smith brothers. I've got my SUV parked outside with your stuff in the back. Are you ready, or do you need to get your luggage?" "No luggage." "Great. If you gentlemen would follow me. Oh, by the way, I'm supposed to give you this phone." He handed Young a generic smartphone. Young found the power button, turning it on as he walked behind the driver. The screen glowed, showing Young the message from an unknown caller. It had to be Wei, or an offer for an extended car warranty. An unplayed voice file shone on the screen. "Mrs. Smith, it's me. I found both packages. One is safe, but the other is in danger. The driver will take you to package number 2. He'll have all you need in his vehicle and will know where to take you. I'll attend to package number 1, getting back to you once your mission is complete. Thanks for your attention and speedy action." Young handed the phone to Mikado, waiting while he listened. They reached the driver's vehicle, climbing inside. Mikado handed the phone back, grunting, his standard response to any type of situation. "There's stuff for the two of you in the back, but it's not a good idea to flash this stuff at this airport. The cops frown on people flaunting weapons around here. Your associate provided a waypoint so we can stop for you to gear up. That cool with you?" "Yes, cool." The driver chuckled. "Okay, you're the boss." He started the vehicle, pointing it toward the parking garage's exit, leaving the airport's grounds. Traffic snarled the highway, but the driver swerved through the holes with a smooth hand, keeping them moving toward their date with violence. An EKG wouldn't show an elevated level of stress or excitement for either brother. Combat had been a normal part of their lives since they were children, so this new fight meant nothing to either man. They would go in, wreak havoc before anyone knew what hit them. This was the modus operandi of the monks, what they trained for their entire lives. "Gentlemen, the waypoint is up here to the right. I'll unlock the rear gate, and you two can ready yourselves. Since I don't want to be a party to whatever you're planning, I'll stay right here in the driver's seat, waiting to take you to your destination. I need the money, but I don't want to end up in prison, okay?" "Yes, cool." For the second time on their trip, the driver truckled. He turned into an empty parking lot with weeds poking through the deteriorating asphalt. Young watched a murder of crows fly through a broken window in a derelict building beyond their parking spot. "Since I don't want a flat, I'm stopping here. No one should be able to see us if they're passing by." The driver stopped the truck, shutting off the engine. Then the rear gate lifted by itself. Young and Mikado climbed down, walking around the back to see what Wei had sourced for them. Wei did well, providing 2 staffs, a katana with a razor-sharp blade, and a crossbow with a dozen arrows, all equipped with broad heads. All Nyan monks learned to fight with a staff before they learned a specialty weapon. Young took to the katana, while his brothers shot an arrow better than the fictional Robin Hood, then made quick work of any enemies with these weapons. After making sure everything was in order, they returned to their seats in the vehicle. "I'll assume everything meets your approval. Another 30 minutes drive time, and you'll get to try them out. If everything goes well, I'll be waiting for you once you're done. If not, we'll never see each other again. Understand?" "Yes, cool." This time the man didn't laugh. Instead, he put the SUV in gear, driving them away from the empty building. The half hour passed fast. They ran into little traffic before reaching an area filled with abandoned industrial buildings. An active dockyard sat on the other side of a chain-link fence. This side of the fenced-off area hadn't fared as well as the other. The driver pulled off into another parking lot with crumbling pavement. "This is as far as I go. The building you want is a block down on the other side of the road. I'll wait for as long as I think it's safe. Best of luck to you both." Young nodded, grabbing his weapons from the back of the truck. The two of them would determine who walked away from this fight. They moved through the shadows of the derelict buildings. 6 armed men roamed the grounds around a derelict building. They knew they had reached the right place. These men moved without purpose, displaying little discipline or training. Most likely their arrogance blinded them to any outside threat. Young knew this would be easy. Mikado's crossbow would take them all out. No problem. As Young planned their attack, a door on the side of the building opened. A heavy-set man led the way with 3 armed men pushing a 4th man ahead of them toward a waiting vehicle. The prisoner had his arms bound behind his back. Their primary target was a woman named Kate, so they waited to see if she would appear. Instead of another prisoner emerging, the 5 men filled a large truck, like the one they rode from the airport in, departing the warehouse. 2 more vehicles waited outside the building. Young frowned at Mikado, waiting for the woman to appear. Mikado shrugged his shoulders in response. They held each other's eyes for another minute before charging the unsuspecting men.